If you've got debt or have to put a roof over your head or somebody else, then you work, whatever job is paying you that. But I'm asking you, what are you doing from 6 p.m. to midnight? And if you have to go build slowly your portfolio, your Shopify store, your Instagram account, your YouTube channel, your content, like, wouldn't you be pumped if I told you for the next 4 years it's tough and you don't watch as much Netflix and sports and hanging out, but then you get to live happy for the rest of your life? Everybody, in theory, would sign up for that. The reality is a lot of people don't want to grind for 4 years. Like, people don't like pain. It's why most people don't have six packs. I went headfirst and learned about eBay, learned about what was going on in Amazon, started learning the early internet culture, and in 1996, I launched WineLibrary.com, one of the first 2 e-commerce wine businesses in America. From 1998 to 2003, in a 5-year window, I grew my dad's business from a $3 to a $60 million business on very, very important terms that matter to this entire room. I had no money. It was a $3 million business that had 10% gross profit, $300,000 before expenses. There was no marketing budget. What I needed is to make every penny work like a dollar. So the strategy became day trading attention. When you day trade attention, my friends, here's what you do. You don't overspend on what everybody believes is tried and true. Every single company in this gorgeous conference right now is grossly overspending money on things that they've been doing for the last decade because it's the things that they accept, or the reporting justifies it, or they're just lazy to try something new. Everyone. Please understand my biggest truth here today, which is if you are not sharing your thoughts, your process, your journey, your progress to achieving your goals, the stories you want to tell about your startup, product, service, if you are not communicating to the world, and if you're not thinking about what's valuable to them, not what's valuable to you when you communicate, and that is a very big point, I'll say it one more time. If you are not communicating to the world, and when you're communicating, if you're not thinking about what's valuable to them versus what you're putting out for yourself, you are basically irrelevant. As much as it may be difficult for many in this room, if you are not living through here, you are not known. This is the game. If you are underestimating this, and when I say underestimating this, if you have not made a significant commitment to producing content for the one of 7 apps or websites that 80% of this entire region spends a disproportionate amount of time penetrating and listening and consuming, you are becoming vastly, vastly irrelevant. In 1997, I started an email newsletter. Most people that came into my liquor store didn't even know what email was in 1997. I collected, and in 1998, I had a 200,000 person email newsletter with 91% open rates. Now, it's not because I was a genius, and I know a lot of you sit here just like I do with emails that are 13 to 23% open rates today. It's that in 1997, nobody was emailing. We hadn't ruined it yet. One thing I promise you, more than I know that the sun will come up tomorrow, I know that marketers ruin everything. As I think about B2B players in this environment, it is stunning to me how many B2B businesses here do not understand that producing articles on medium.com, on LinkedIn, writing full content on Facebook in your feed, and then spending $100 in ads against employees of the company that you're trying to reach. The thing that has made me successful far more than my passion or my energy is my disproportionate practicality. Most people want to look the part of an entrepreneur that came up with the next Supreme or Adidas brand or the next Uber or Facebook, yet are $40,000 in debt, working a job that they hate, and literally, if they went to the 5 discount stores that dominate this market, buy things on clearance, go home, take a picture with their phone and upload to eBay, and then when people buy it, go to the post office and ship it, they would be able to get out of debt and get into a financial place. But people don't want to do that because they don't want to be judged for that being their hustle. Most people in this room and this world would rather lose looking like they're doing something successful than win and be judged for doing something that seems dorky.
One, that cash is oxygen. I'm blown away by all these people that are starting businesses that don't realize that money is important. Like, they think about all these things. They're trying to think about 4 years from now and they haven't made their first check. Just complete lack of practicality when thinking about a business. Number two, strengths. Are you a salesman? Are you the accountant? Do you have financial strength? Do you have sales strength? Are you operationally? Are you good at HR? Whatever you're best at, do that. Surround yourself with the other 3 or 4 pillars that need to have a business. And number 3, look for the white space, meaning where are people not marketing and storytelling that you can? Is Snapchat, is YouTube, is a blog or a podcast your way to separate yourself from everybody else while they're running direct mail or radio or television or print advertising? What's the white space in your sector that nobody else is filling? When I was 14, I was full of crap. I was a salesman. I would say anything to you to make you buy my baseball cards or a bottle of wine. My dad grabbed me by the neck and he said, listen to me, where we come from, you've got one thing, your word. And that one moment, easily, my mom did most of the work. My dad was at work. I never saw my dad until I was 14. She built a self-esteem. She made me the right kind of guy, kind. She built the foundation. But that one tweak by my dad changed the outcome of my life from being a good huckster salesman who would have made it okay and made a good buck to having real potential. I'm very undereducated on the entrepreneurs and successful people in the world. My favorite success story is my dad. He came here with nothing, 0. I lived in a studio apartment a quarter the size of this studio. I think Mark Zuckerberg is gonna take that throne from Jeff Bezos. And I think he's grossly underestimated. And in parallel, Evan Spiegel of Snapchat has surprised me. He's 25, I think. I don't think it's genius. I think that they're lucky that the internet came along and allowed them to do it earlier. The internet is such scale. The internet is basically our lives. I actually think the internet is more our life than this is. This is where people spend their time. Attention is the asset, and the internet owns it. I believe a purebred entrepreneur suffocates in the notion of doing anything but running their own business. If there's real growth at no profit with millions of users, that's the one that you want to run because the upside is so great. I made a crap load of money. Like, the people who invested in Twitter before it went public made a fortune. Twitter's issue is that it needs to hold on to the attention of its users.